was diagnosed in, I think, '98. However, I know I've had it since I was 8 years old. Was probably my first attack, so to speak. Multiple sclerosis is was thought to be a neurological disease brought on by everything. I mean, it's taken so many different turns. I recently have had a ccsvi treatment, which was a angioplasty, where they go in and open up veins to help with the drainage. And oh my God, that is it, definitely. And of course, I waited to post any YouTube video because I didn't want to join the hype and everything. I wanted to make sure. And it is February 8th right now. I had my angioplasty done on December 1st last year. So it's been almost 3 months. And cognitively is my biggest improvement. Still has a ways to go, but that is definite improvement. I would highly recommend researching it and encouraging your neurologist, and even maybe you have better luck than I did in trying to get a consultation with the interventional radiologist or something along that side. But they're still playing on the old rule book, and what they don't realize is this treatment is available today. There are risks. The biggest risk, I think, would be the possibility of stent migration, which is a possibility. I have one stent in my azygos. Both of my jugulars were moderately stenosed, and my azygos was totally flat. I mean, he'd blow that sucker up and it would immediately collapse back down to zero. And anyway, the relationship between my feelings and what I feel now and what I felt then, there is no doubt in my mind that my multiple sclerosis was primarily caused because of the improper drainage of the blood. What happens is your blood goes up into your brain through the ventricles, or for the ventricles, the arteries, which is highly oxygenated blood and clean and everything, goes in, does its stuff, and then when it drains back out through the veins, and then everything's hunky-dory. It all starts all over again. Well, if you close off one of the arteries, you have a stroke. But if you close off one of the veins, that's the drainage leaving the brain. You don't have a stroke. They don't call it a stroke. It's aspiration, or whatever they pronounce it. Except that they don't call it that. They will as soon as they figure it out. The way my thoughts is different than it was just months ago before I had the angioplasty. And in my mind, there is no doubt at all. I do believe that there could be other causes in addition that could have create stenosis, or to create sclerosis. But in my case, I'm pretty much thinking that the stenosed veins is the cause of the drainage of the blood, causing it to stagnate. What do they call it? Doppler. When the veins close and the artery's still pumping away, where's it going? It's going and just stagnating in there. All that iron deposits that are supposed to be going down and being filtered out of the waste. Consider everything in your veins, consider it waste at that point. And then it gets refiltered and brought back up to the arteries. And I do not hear people thinking or people talking as though they're thinking in the right directions on YouTube and even the videos and everything. CCSVI is not a cure. No, it's not a cure. It is one step closer to understanding what this disease is. Sclerosis is scarring of your brain. You can go and ride your skateboard and bang your head up against the concrete and get a big bruise. You have a sclerosis. That's, you know, any damage to the brain is scarred over, which is the scarring. And people with multiple sclerosis have multiple scarring, and the scarring of, in my case, is from hypoxia and just the inadequate blood flow. You have stagnating blood. Your arteries are pumping in blood and they seem to be working fine, but the veins are closed, and which is a stenosis. Stenosis is any blockage in a vein, or stenosis is inadequate vein, the size, or cannot handle the quality. So therefore the blood tries to go through a collateral vein or collateral. My thinking still not quite right, but it's getting better. Anyway, I have had symptoms since I was 8 years old. The first symptoms that I had that I can now understand were reading, my eyesight, which right now I'm damn near blind. And I have had everything that I can think of except for my speech. Other than the cognitive part of the speech, the actual control of my swallowing and that kind of stuff, luckily has not been affected ever. And I'm thankful for that, because everything else has. And my walking is terrible. I'm in a wheelchair now. I refuse to be in a wheelchair all the time. I'll drag myself around before I become dependent on it. But the whole point of what I'm saying is two things. Is number one, the people that have posted YouTube videos, thank you. Thank you very much. This is my very first video. I know it will be my first video because I have made many first videos before. However, today's the 8th of February, 2011, and the 10th of February, 2011, 2 days, I have an appointment with my neurologist. And I want to put this out on YouTube to be my first video before I go in and hear how, or however he poo-poos it. I think this is very valuable information that a lot of people should have. I do not hear some of the thinking that I am thinking about. Some of my thoughts are not being expressed on the other patients who have MS. All MS is different. Everybody has different symptoms. Everybody has, it affects them differently. People, anyway, I can give you examples, but we're not going to go into that. Anyway, I hope this gets out, and I hope everybody does research getting a ccsvi treatment and pay for it if need be. I'm sorry, the insurance is forcing everybody to suffer a little bit longer. It was worth it in my case. It cost I spent about $10,000, maybe $12,000, because I had a stent put in my esophagus, so it was $2,000 extra. But I do think it is a very, very worthwhile expenditure if you're at that point. However, don't go in don't go in thinking it's going to cure everything. It's not a cure. What it does do is it's going to clear up your thinking if that is what part of your system is stenosed. But anyway, I think, yes, research it, definitely research it. It is the way of the future. We now have interventional radiologists capable of doing miracles, in my opinion. What would have been done with a butcher knife and everything, now it's done through a little hole in your growing area, and they fish a wire all the way up to your brain and get it done. It's pretty much an outpatient procedure. It's amazing. And I hope it works for you. However, it's not a cure. Don't expect it to be a cure, but it is probably the end of your attacks. Thanks. Maybe I'll make another video later. If I can figure out how to